Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name's Ryan and I'm a former Royal Marines Commando from the United Kingdom, and today we're going to be doing some live updates regarding the Ukraine-Russia crisis that's ongoing at the moment. So yeah, let's get into it in a few moments. We'll wait until we get a few more people in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Let me know if you can see me, all of that good stuff. Excuse me. Turbo Chad, why subs only? So when you view the chat, if you press subscribe, you'll instantly be allowed to chat. It's just a way of me getting more subs, I guess. How you doing, troops? Honky Chonky, how you doing? Margot, how you doing, guys? Smash the like button. Let's get straight to 100 likes, and then we'll get into this, guys. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. All of that good stuff. Let me know where you're watching from. Lee Parker, loud and clear, good stuff. And let me know if you can see me, all that good stuff. We'll get into it, guys. I'm feeling good tonight. Feeling good. We've got quite a bit of things that we're gonna want to catch up on. We'll do it over a beer, eh? Why not? So grab a beer, grab a cup of coffee, or a cup of tea if you're from the United Kingdom. I might get a cup of tea later, actually. But yeah, let's get those likes in, troops. We've got 28 likes, 70 viewers. Once we get to about 100 viewers, I think we'll get the show on the road. We'll get cracking with this whole thing. Got some regular faces in the chat. Audio sounds good, video's good, good stuff, troops. Yeah, I'm not sure how long we're going to do this. It's about 10 past 11 here in the United Kingdom. Obviously, we've got a lot of people watching from different time zones and stuff. So thanks for stopping by. And yeah, as you can tell by the title, excuse me, Ukrainian Special Forces wreaking havoc behind enemy lines in Russia. It goes without saying. We'll get into this in a little bit. That Ukraine Special Forces will have been wreaking havoc behind enemy lines anywhere. It's not like it's just a new thing. It's coming out in the news and stuff like that as if it's a new thing. But being a former military man, and there's a lot of people well apt with war and military history and stuff like that. We got a lot of veterans in the chat, a lot of aspiring people, or just a lot of fans of the military in general watching. Will know that it's not going to be new. Not going to be new news that Russian Special Forces, Ukraine Special Forces will have been doing their thing behind enemy lines, because you'd like to think that they'd be doing that anyway, all right? That's kind of their purpose in life, although it doesn't get spoken about for obvious reasons. You can bet your bottom dollar that's been happening anywhere. Okay, but anyway, before we get into it, we got about 94 people in the chat. We've been going online at sporadic times at the moment, so I can understand that we might have, you know, variable different amounts of people coming back to the streams and stuff like that, because you guys won't know when we were going live. All right, we've been quite sporadic over the past few weeks, but as you can tell, this is the reason why. Behind us, we've got one or two more things to crack on in the background, a few more sound tiles. Hopefully the sound sounds a little bit better today, because we've got about 50 sound I forget what you call them now, acoustic panels, all right, and that's helped the room a lot. We've still got a lot more of those to put on that wall behind me. I've got a couple of flags. I've got my 40 Commando flag. I'm going to put a Royal Marines Commando flag behind me. I'm going to put a Union Jack behind me as well, because, you know, that's the flag which I served under. And what I plan on doing is whatever month my viewership, obviously my top viewership at the moment is, and I don't mind telling you guys this, is either America or second place. America's first, all right. About 60% of my views more come from America, so I'm getting the red, white, and blue is going behind me 100%, because you guys are the main viewers of the channel. My own flag is going there, and the second place flag, whoever's second for that month, I'm gonna put their flag as well. And at the moment, I think it might either be India or Sweden. So they've been battling for second place over the past couple of weeks and months. So whatever flag is second, I'm gonna fly your flag as well for the behind me on the backdrop for that month, and then obviously it changes hands. So hey, if you want to be first, then you gotta start recommending your friends. But that's what's happening. The red, white, and blue, the Union Jack, and second place flag will be yeah, whoever's second in the viewership. But that's that, troops. A few more things to go in the background. I think someone's just donated there, actually. Sorry. 1 and 7 billion. Thank you very much for your kind super chat, my dear friend. I appreciate that very, very much. It helps me do what we do every single day. So yeah, all of the super chats are great, massively appreciated. So thank you for that, brother. No matter how big or small, I treat them all the same, guys. All right. So thank you. We've got a few of the members in as well. If you want to become a member, guys, the link is in the description. I've pinned it to the chat, and I'll not mention that too many times today. Okay. But a few friendly faces in. the Diamond Dog, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Gustav, how you doing, guys? If you want to, if you've got any burning questions and you want to, not stop me in my tracks, but if you want to contribute to the stream, if you want to sway the conversation slightly, and then the way to do that is via super chat. So feel free to get the super chat questions in. Don't just do them super chat stickers. All right, if you're gonna do that, make sure you get a question in there, because you'd be surprised at just how important the questions can be. And somebody, if it doesn't want to be a question, it can be a statement as well, as long as we keep it nice and friendly to a degree. We won't have no problems. Hey, Don Backer, thank you, brother, for stopping by. Don Backer is our kind moderator, been moderating most of these streams the past few weeks. So yeah, thank you, troops. Right then, let's get into this then. So I think what we're going to do is, I've got a couple of minutes worth of admin to crack with you guys, a few bits of information I want to mention and get out. And what else? We're going to do a bit of a map study, because I haven't looked at that map for a few days. It seems like a few weeks. And after the map study, there's an article that I want to read to you guys, and I want you to share your thoughts on what you think about this, because I've been reading a little bit of it, and it's quite interesting how certain articles will suddenly appear. Yeah, we'll get into that as well, and then after that, we'll just answer in between any pertinent questions that you've got, guys. Okay, so we'll just see how it goes as always, but let's get 100 likes. We got 150 viewers in the concurrently viewing at the moment. If we can get 100 likes, we'll get this show on the road, troops. So if you do anything right now, smash the like button and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe as well. And that's that. Got loads of people in the chat at the moment. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you've just joined. And yeah, 71 likes. Great stuff. Right, Veteran Hoffman, the time frame is great for me, right? 316. Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's why I remember 316. It's a parable, isn't it? A parable in the Bible or something? I should know this. I was born a Roman Catholic. I'm not practicing or anything, but that's just the way it is. Hey, Carl Granith with the granite-like physique in his photo. Thoughts on Sweden and Finland joining NATO. So we spoke about that. It was 3-4 days ago. Thanks for the super chat, by the way, Carl. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you. So thoughts on Sweden and Finland joining NATO. Has it been confirmed that they have joined NATO yet? Or is it going through the processes required to join NATO? Because the last we were speaking about it, Sweden and Finland were thinking about it. And it was quite mixed, actually. It was quite mixed in terms of what people were thinking. And I'll be honest with you, I was quite zoned in on my opinion on the whole thing. As you would have known if you'd watched the stream, I was all for it, to be fair. Now, there was some really good arguments for and against, and most of the againsts actually shocked me came from either Finnish or Swedish people. And I think that comes from, the fact that they live there, they pertain to the country, they'll understand the politics there a lot better than someone like me. But from an outside perspective, I was all for it. Now, and I still am, even though I've had, multiple comments stating reasons why it's not a good thing, all of that. I do understand it, but I'm still for the potential for Sweden and Finland joining NATO. I just think, and yeah, we've got to be a little bit selfish in the whole thing. When you look at where Finland and Sweden are geographically located in Europe, you look at the United Kingdom, although we are surrounded by the best borders on the planet, i.e. the sea, and completely surrounded by that. We want to be protected by our neighbouring countries as well, and the fact that Finland and Sweden are literally across the North Sea there, along with Norway, I think it's a real good thing for the United Kingdom. I think it's good for NATO, and who wouldn't want to have two formidable fighting forces become part of an even bigger, better group of individuals, hopefully seeking the right course of action in times of need. I think it's a real good thing, personally. Let me know your thoughts on that. Has it changed over the past few weeks or not? 112 likes. Happy days, troops. We've got our first goal. The second goal is 1,000 now. So, yeah, good luck. Welcome to the members. Welcome to everyone else. Veteran Hoffman, how you doing, troops? Mrs. Teacup, how you doing? Right then. So, yeah, what's your thoughts on Finland and Sweden joining NATO? To answer your question, simply call. I'm all for it, brother. I'm all for it. What you're seeing in the chat. So apparently there's scope for Finland and Sweden to be full NATO members by the end of the year. Okay, that's okay. I mean, the end of the year, I think these things don't move as quick as we'd like to think they would move. But yeah, we've got two camera angles today because I'm a bit disappointed in my webcam. Since using my proper camera, the webcam isn't really cutting the mustard for me. So yeah, I've got a few things that I need to do. A little bit off topic, very, very quickly. I'm just getting these things, right? These things here. Mevo webcams. I'm getting them for the podcast because I can literally pick these cameras up, all right? For the same price as like my current camera. All I need is my phone to be able to set a podcast up and stream straight to YouTube. So my aim is to have that on the podcast table right there for the Just Boxing podcast. So I'm looking forward to getting that set up. Hopefully me and my dad will have that set up this week. So yeah. It seems really dark, R&R. That's because it is dark. I'm in my garage. I've got the lights down. I've got the man cave lights up. I've got a light in front of me. Yeah, it's pretty dark for that reason. But I tell you what I could do just for you, buddy. If you really want me to, I can do this a little bit. Boom, a little bit lighter for you. But yeah, that's meant to be. It's meant to be how it looks. So thanks for stopping by, troops. Anyway. As promised, let's get into a little bit of a map study. Here. So I guess we'll just go straight from the top. Let's refresh this, actually. So 44 minutes ago, Donetsk Oblast, the aerial threat, right? So these are the same things. These here are pretty much the same type of information that came out for the whole of the war, to be fair. Okay, so at this point, what was that, like eastern Ukraine? We've got 2 civilians wounded as a result of Russian army shelling. Significant damage in the village community. Okay, where's that? Russian army shelling of, right, see if I can get, right, let's see if I can get a article on this. "29th of April, what we got here? 600 injured in recent bombing steel plant." What? That's absolutely Outrageous. 600. Oh, I've just spilt my beer. Bloody thing out the way. Not very much in there anyway. We've got plenty to go. let's get an F in the chat for that. Oh man, I'm gonna stink a beer now. Let's get an F in the chat. Bloody hell, I've only had one beer. 600 injured in recent bombing steel plant. Did we cover that last time? The Indian dude, thank you for your super chat. You say, I saw some reports floating around that Valery, can't pronounce his name, one of the highest ranking generals, have been taken out because of wounds. What, so he's dead? Let's get some F's in the chat for the bit. The thing is, I hate the smell of spilt beer. It's just going to stink everything. I think I've splattered it all over my wall as well. Oh well, it's the man cave. I'm not going to get wrong off the wife, I don't think, unless she's watching this and she's ready to pounce. Right, let's have a look at that general then. Because that's been something that's interested me the past few. Let's get a different screen here. Let's get back on that. Oh, so he's been injured. Putin's chief of staff wounded and forced to evacuate. Right, so he's not dead. Putin's chief of staff, Valery, is wounded by shrapnel after being sent to Ukraine by Russian president to secure victory. To secure victory? Is he to secure victory in a region? I'm guessing. Someone mentioned Mariupol. Russian president to secure victory. Reports claim, and another mystery explosion rocks Russian city. Ah, right, okay, so Valery, Russian army chief of staff, was flown out of Izium near Kharkiv with shrapnel wounds. Okay, so he's Vladimir Putin's top military commander. He's been flown out of the war zone with shrapnel wounds after being sent to Ukraine by Russian president to secure victory, a former Russian internal affairs minister has claimed. That's pretty big then. Valery, the chief of staff of the Russian army, was today wounded, so that's 3 days ago, I think, near Kharkov region, which has been at the center of intense fighting since the Russian invasion. Putin has sent Gerasimov to the region to take personal control of his push to grab territory in eastern Ukraine after the Russian army abandoned its plans to take Kiev at the end of March. That's right. In favor of a concentrated assault on the Donbass region of Donetsk and Luhansk. An unofficial Russian source reported that he had sustained a shrapnel wound in the upper third of the right leg without a bone fracture. The shard was removed. There is no longer danger to life. So this is the thing. This is the thing with high-ranking generals and stuff. So we need to think about the fact that one, he's a high-ranking general anyway, so even this, I don't want to say slightest injury, but yeah, in comparison to the troops on the ground, if there's an inkling that he's remotely injured, it doesn't matter how severe, he's probably going to get replaced at the soonest possible opportunity. The fact that Russia has had a lot of, they've had a lot of casualties and deaths at the higher ranks at this moment as well. That's one thing that we've been covering, and has been quite clear over the past few weeks. You know, the amount of generals that's been taken out. What is it, 7 or something at the moment? Is it 7 generals that's been taken out? I mean, that's pretty crazy when you think about it. But it's a strange rank structure as well. The way the rank structure is in the Russian military, it doesn't work. I want to say like conventional fighting forces, but you know, Russia is a conventional fighting force, although it doesn't do things as conventionally as the United Kingdom, as Sweden, as Finland, as the United States, as India. You know, although they do things differently, they're still conventional. So here we go. I'll explain how it. This is a very, very basic explanation of how it kind of works, okay, without getting too deep into the whole thing. the rank structure is in place in the British military, for instance, not only for discipline and for command and leadership reasons, and to get things done. It's there for a reason. You've got your Marines at the bottom, for instance. I'll speak from the Royal Marines. Them are the doers. Them are the guys with some of the some of the hardest jobs to do when it comes to war. It's them guys who are fighting in the trenches, with weaponries, with grenades, with sniper rifles, with assault rifles, with their bare hands, with the bayonets, with the listeners, the people who get told to do stuff and the action that as best as they possibly can. And then you've got your most important individuals in the immediate non-commissioned rank structure, and that's your corporals, your NCOs. Them are the guys, them are the leaders, all right? Them are the leaders on the ground, getting shit done. Taking control of the younger men, the Marines in my case, okay? So quite a technical job in the fact that they've got to be able to take orders, understand them, interpret them, and dictate those orders back out to the troops on the ground. The NCOs have a pretty tough job strategically, physically, emotionally. It's a demanding role. Very, very skilled individuals. Without the NCOs, our military would not function on the battlefield. It would be crazy. Now, the way Russia works is they've got, I believe, officers. Their officers are the equivalent. Well, they're not equivalent. They do an equivalent role as well as all of the officer stuff as the NCOs. Them are the guys taking the troops on the ground to do things. They're the people, they're getting stuff done. Now, I couldn't imagine the British military working in that fashion. It just wouldn't work. They don't have, not having NCOs is outrageous in my opinion. It is outrageous. But yeah, hey troops, thanks for joining. We've got over 300 concurrent viewers in the chat. Let's smash that like button if you've just joined. And quite simply, enjoy your time here. Feel free to ask any questions and just enjoy yourself, guys. I've spilt a beer all over myself. In fact, I've still got some left, so bottoms up. Hopefully I'll not spill my next one. JY, thank you very much for your super chat. It's very much appreciated, brother. You're seeing 10 generals taking out 7. Wow. So it's even more than I originally thought. That's bloody unbelievable. I don't know if there's an equivalent war we can compare that to in terms of the loss of life for generals or very high ranking officers. But speaking about the rank structure and how Russia operates, that might be food for thought with regards. You've got your lower grade officers basically doing an NCO job over Russia and Ukraine, rather. I wonder if it says the same for the high-ranking generals. Are they more active on the ground than, say, a general of the United States or the United Kingdom? Are they actually doing a lower-grade dual role as the lower-grade officers are? Does that mean they are, instead of taking charge of battle formations at a reasonably safe distance, are they out on the ground with companies of men and dictating to doing the equivalent of a major's job in the British military? If that is the case, it makes kind of sense if that is the case, based off the amount of casualties that they've taken at the higher ranks. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? That's the way I'm thinking. And again, I'm just spinning stuff out here. What do you think? That's what I think. Veteran Hoffman, rest in peace to the US Marine veteran that has recently got killed volunteering in Ukraine. Until Valhalla, brother. And yeah, I tip my hat to that and I raise a glass to it, brother. There's been a few volunteers sadly lost their lives. Yeah, it's a tricky situation, isn't it? It really is. There's a British soldier we did a live stream on the other day, a video actually. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. He's a former British soldier and he volunteered. I think he had links to Ukraine via his wife. I might be wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure that's why most volunteers who are former British soldiers, the ones that we know of, have all had close ties to Ukraine of some sort, it's quite interesting how that works out, troops. It's sad nonetheless, no matter where the life is lost from. But yeah, the beer is nearly dried on my leg now, guys. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. 367 people watching. Thank you, troops, for stopping by. Got any questions? Let's get the quizzes going. Right, back to what we were doing before. So Putin's chief of staff, what's happening with him? So this is the guy who's been injured on the front line, shrapnel wound apparently, and it's hit him in the upper third of the right leg without a bone fracture, so non-threatening. If you break an upper bone in the leg, guys, you're in a bad place. The amount of blood you can lose in the upper leg just down to a fracture is pretty incredible, It is pretty incredible indeed. So let's just read this a little bit more. An unofficial Russian source reported that this general, he sustained a shrapnel wound in the upper third of the right leg. The shard was removed. There is no danger to life, apparently. But his injury was severe enough to have him flown away from the front lines and back to Russia to undergo further treatment, marking another embarrassing defeat for Putin's forces. Well, is it an embarrassing defeat or is it an embarrassing moment? I'm not too sure if they actually got defeated in that moment. The chief of staff's injury, so this guy, what is he doing getting injured? How is he getting that close? He's the bloody chief of staff, man. This is outrageous. Outrageous. The chief of staff's injury came just one day after Russian Major General Andrei Simonov, 55, was killed in Kharkiv, according to an advisor to Ukrainian President Zelensky. He is Russia's 9th general to have been killed since the start of the invasion. I believe it's 10 now, as someone mentioned in the chat before. So that's the dude there. So he's still alive. He's the chief of staff, man. How's he getting that close? This is crazy. That looks like Lomachenko, the boxer. Ukrainian Interior Minister advisor said that the attack on Izum was the very place where he was personally came to lead an attack. That must be where he got injured from. Colin Burning, thank you very much for your super chat, my dear friend. You're saying thoughts on Putin's mercenaries, Wagner Group. Have you heard of them before? I have. Right, let me do a quick wiki on these dudes. Right. Wagner Group, also known as a PMC Wagner, being the Russian abbreviation of Private Military Company. Okay. Is Russia's paramilitary organization. It's private military company. So who did the Wagner Group came to global prominence during the war? Donbass in Ukraine, where it is separatist forces of the self-declared Donetsk. Its contractors have reportedly taken part in various conflicts around the world, including civil wars in Libya, Syria, Central African Republic. Wow. I was right near Central Africa. We got deployed to the jungle in Gabon, just southwest, I think, of Central African Republic. It was you don't want to be fighting there, guys. It's a tough old place. Trust me. The jungle, the humidity. It's a hard enough place to train. Never mind fight. I wonder if this is interesting, right? I wonder if that Wagner Group has mercenaries from countries that would raise a few eyebrows to most of Europe, Ukraine. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm going with this without saying too much? I wonder if there'd be some people actually working for them who shouldn't be, if that makes sense. What's your thoughts on that, troops? Imkiben 2, thank you for your super chat, my dear friend. You're saying, have you heard anything about Ukraine attacking Russia across the border? In an American, some of the military bosses said was going to cross border. Have you heard anything about Ukraine attacking Russia across the border? What, into Russia? There was actually an article that I was just reading was I think it was hinting at that. So they were hinting at potential. I don't know if it was explosions that were random explosions taking place in Russia. I can't remember exactly, but if that sort of stuff is going on, that's definitely specialist. What's the word? Commando style operations that are going on behind enemy lines. I don't know if that's done to disrupt the progress of Russia. It obviously is, but no, I don't think there's too much of that coming out in the news at this moment in time. But I can imagine it being somewhat like a reprisal attack if they've got the specialist ability and the forces and equipment to be able to get behind their enemy lines, i.e. Russia, and crack on doing whatever they need to do, small type raids to, affect them that way. Then, hey, is that highly possible? Absolutely. The way this war's going on at this moment in time, I have no doubt that that's probably cracking on, guys. Right, let's get this there. Boom. Thank you for your super chat. Shuamid, you've just a super chat sticker. Okay, thank you very much for the $20, brother. That's very much appreciated. I really appreciate that. But please, if you want, just when you do the super chats, guys, get questions in so we can have something to answer back to. Do you know what I mean? We can add something. So next time you want to do that, brother, thank you. Get some text in there. Ask me a question. That's a perfect opportunity, buddy. But what do you guys think of mercenaries? This is a tricky one, because mercenaries are effectively volunteers. They're volunteering their services for a paycheck. They can only get paid if they go to places where their services are utilized. It's an exchange, isn't it? It's an exchange. If I can provide this in an area where you need this to be provided, in exchange of money. And mercenaries, some of them make bloody good money. What's your thoughts on that? Because, how can I say? You're not forced into it, so anything that happens to you in conflict, in war, is it deserved? Is it like, well, you know what you were getting yourself in for? You were getting paid to do it? What's your thoughts on that? Let's get some questions in on that. I think mercenaries, it's I'd imagine Russia and Ukraine have people from the same countries fighting for them, volunteering. And does it come down to this? Who gets the bigger paycheck? There'll be some people who probably is quite happy to fight for either side, depending on how much money is available to them. That's another thing that we need to consider. If there's money to be had, is that amount of money going to sway these individuals to fight for the alleged bad guy in this situation, the perceived bad guy, the villain? Do you understand where I'm coming with that? Colin Burning, thank you for your super chat, brother. You're saying one of Putin's right-hand man is said to be the person fundraising the Wagner Group. They are said to be deployed in eastern Ukraine. Putin's right-hand man. Right, okay, so there's going to be a lot of money. I imagine these guys get paid quite a bit of money, to be fair. That's my take on it anyway. Let's get some questions in on that. We've got a few people answering questions now. Veteran Hoffman, you saying you did your jungle training in Panama. Wow. Panama, I was quite ignorant of what was going on in Panama and with America and Panama. My only understanding at the time of Panama was through my massive love for a Panamanian boxer called Roberto Duran, nicknamed the Hands of Stone or Manos de Piana. So yeah, that's the only reason I knew about Panama. But it's quite a dodgy place, to say the least, or it used to be. Billy Vieira, thank you very much for your super chat question. You're saying, as I was told during basic training in the United States, all soldiers are mercenaries. The only difference is who you are paid by. Wow, that's really interesting. Let me digest that. As I was told during basic training in the United States, all soldiers are mercenaries. The only difference is who you are paid by. Wow, I'm struggling to disagree with that. That's man. I don't want to start blurting out things about that because, yeah, I mean, a mercenary. What is a mercenary? Let's get into this. This is an interesting topic. What is a mercenary? I mean, we could go broad, we could go simple. A mercenary is a paid soldier, right? A mercenary is a paid soldier. Would you agree? Would you agree with that? Is that fair? I think that's a fair point. It's not a paid hairdresser. It's not a paid politician. It's a paid soldier. It's a man who can pick up arms, fight in a skilled way, in a trained way. That's what a mercenary is, isn't it? So the difference is who you're being paid by. So I guess it comes down to this. You could argue that it isn't the same thing via this. It's in basic terms, a mercenary is a paid soldier via private means. Now, soldiers as we know it, for king and country, so to speak, are, you could say the paid individuals, but they're a public entity. 99.9% of the time they come under the government banner, paid for by the public. In the United Kingdom, our national insurance and all the other things pay for that public service, to have soldiers who are paid and looked after to look after the public interest and the defence of the United Kingdom and all other aspects of security, national security, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, one, I guess, is private, one is public. But then we get into the deeper you go into the specializations of individual fighting soldiers, the closer those public paid soldiers become, the closer they get to becoming mercenaries. They're just still paid publicly. So special forces, you could argue, a very different kettle of fish to your basic infanteers. They're doing things behind enemy lines without the without the known backing of government and stuff like that. Because they can't be seen to be backing them in certain jobs. That's why if they're behind enemy lines, that's it. That's the last resort. So I think it's a parameter, isn't it? It's a parameter, and the further right you get on that parameter, i.e. the more skilled you get, the harder the operations you are allowed to do, the less the less acceptance the government will have on, the less accountability they will have on you, all of that good stuff. It pushes you closer and closer to that edge of becoming a mercenary. Does that make sense? And to me, the drop, where do you actually become a mercenary, probably is somewhere to the right hand side of the highest tier of individuals, i.e. special forces, and then private hire individuals who are highly paid. That's where the line kind of crosses over. What do you guys think about that? It's a really interesting topic, that really, really interesting topic. We can go a little bit deeper into that if you want. We can go a little bit deeper into that. That was a great question, or a great statement, Billy. Thank you for that. We got another one, 1 in 7 billion. Thank you for your super chat. You're saying, a merc's loyalty is to money, not country. Yeah, I can agree with that. And you're definitely not going to be a mercenary, or at least I wouldn't. If I was to have went down that route, it wouldn't be for country. It would. It's for money. Yeah, you're right. Money is the reason you would end up in that job. Because, yeah, I mean, it has to be. Why else? I don't know why else anyone would do that. I'm hopefully not going to spill this one. See if I can open this. Let's. There's one thing that we can take a break for, and that's to open up a beer. If we can. So yeah, let's get some love in the chat. Because we've already wasted half a beer, which is an absolute crime. Nearly 600 people, concurrent viewers. Right, how do I open this? I'm not going to do it with my teeth because the last time I did that, I nearly broke them. Right, we're nearly there. Smash that like button, troops. Let's see if we can get 300 likes. Just takes 2 seconds. You might as well while I'm doing a bit of a professional bottle opening job. This is where I spill it all over myself now. There we go. Cheers. Hey, we got some more. Maybe I should do a bottle opening stream. We've got quite a few viewers from that. Sorry, troops. Let me keep up with the chat. Nearly at 300 likes, guys. Let's get 300 likes. Gunterm 2009, thank you for your super chat. You're saying, I op mercenary will work for who pays, good or bad. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. So, do we have a real danger then? Let's think about this. I like this topic, mercenaries. Let's have a think about this. Do we run the risk of private hire military contractors, i.e. mercenaries, whatever you want to call them, whoever pays the higher amount of money, do we run the risk of them having a massive advantage in potential wars like what we're seeing? Because we see a lot on the news about conventional fighting forces fighting conventional fighting forces. We don't see a lot on the news about mercenaries fighting conventional fighting forces or mercenaries on mercenaries, that kind of stuff. But it's happening, like you say. Though I'm taking a lot of your guys' words for it, and the Wagner Group is being mentioned quite a bit. The Wagners, yeah, Wagner boys. So they're paying a lot of money potentially to get good soldiers. Do you think the Wagner Group would have potentially British and American contractors fighting for them on the Russian side? Do you think that's a possibility? Is that something that could happen? That's what I want to know. Do you know what I mean? Because then how do they stand? What does that classify them? Are they committing a crime? Are they allowed to walk back in society as normal individuals? How does that work? It's a really interesting topic, that. I don't know if I'm being honest. I don't know how that works. It's not something I was too keen on getting involved with when I left the military. I didn't really have any strong inkling on becoming, quote, mercenary. I guess it's the terminology in which it gets used as well. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities for people like me when I left the Royal Marines. I mean, I am close protection trained. We would class it as a close protection operative working in hostile environments. Loads of people do that from, my background. Those are options that I have. I've chosen not to go there. One, because I've got a family and kids, but it's certainly not a choice I would take for country. It's a choice I would take for money, if I'm honest with you. And yeah, are you technically a mercenary? Well, yeah, I guess you are. You're private hire. You're a private hire soldier. You're a skilled individual, skilled at all of the things soldiers are skilled in. And I'll leave that to your imagination. It's not just drinking beers. Cheers, guys. I'm going to put this out of the way so I don't spill it. AD Reardon, thank you for your £2. Hey, you must be from the United Kingdom then. Thank you for that. Or Gibraltar, one or the other. Thank you. Make sure you get a question in there, D Reardon, next time. As to you, Billy Vieira, I appreciate all the love tonight, guys. Thank you. I appreciate all of the love. It goes without saying. It goes a long way. It's very much appreciated. I can't say thank you enough. And just want to say I appreciate everyone who's in the chat right now. 689 wonderful people. I'll never get used to that. I'll never get used to seeing hundreds of concurrent viewers on my OBS, which is open broadcasting software. I'll never get used to that, honestly. How do you get used to that many people watching, listening to you talk shite? Billy Vieira, hey, thank you, dude. You're very kind. The average age of a Wagner contractor is 40 years old, and that the PMCs came from as many as 15 different countries. Right, Billy, you're the research guy. Where are these 15 countries mainly orientated then? I think there's going to be a lot of people interested to know that in the chat. Let's hear it. Where are these 15 alleged countries coming from? Are they mainly Europe? I would be surprised if it was America and the likes of England and stuff like that, but at the same time, I don't know if I would be surprised or not. I don't know. Hey, Colin Burning, thank you very, very much for your super chat. What are you saying? Do you think it looks desperate that Putin is having to use Wagner Group? Also, they don't follow rules of war and cause havoc on local population. Excuse me. Also say they don't follow rules of war. Well, yeah, this is the thing with a private military contractor. There will be different rules of engagement that these guys have to follow. And different care levels as well. Let's face it, when I was serving in the Marines, it was really, really hammered home what you can and can't do. I don't know if I can... No, I can mention this. It is public knowledge. It is in the news. Marine Air was a guy who got convicted of a war crime in Afghanistan. Now, I'm not going to mention my opinion on that. All right? He was convicted, court-martialed of doing wrong. Right, so that's what that said. It's not my opinion. That's what happened. Forgetting where I was going with this now. But yeah, he was constrained by rules of engagement, Card Alpha, whatever you want to call it. You'll call it different things from different countries. Okay. Now, when you're a private military contractor, PMC, mercenary, whatever you want to call it, there'll be rules in place. You're a civilian. But there'll be a lot of blind eye turning as far as I'm concerned. I can imagine there'd been a lot of things, just swept under the carpet, looked the other way. I'd imagine if you wanted to get stuff done and you didn't want to have the military held accountable for it, them are the guys that you're going to put in. Hey, we've got a job here. Ooh, well, that job seems a little bit pushy for us. Yeah, but the rate's just doubled. So get yourself in for it. And, money talks. And I think there'll be I can imagine there being some dodgy stuff happen. If the price is right, then why not? I think people will take, more risky operations, more risky tasks, missions, whatever you want to say, is for money. So it's an interesting one. Will we see a massive rise in future conflicts as such, in private military contractors getting embedded alongside conventional fighting forces, getting paid a lot of money for it to do, some pretty sensitive, dodgy shit? What's your thoughts on that? Let's get some questions going, guys. Hey, Mrs. Teacup, thank you very much for your super chat. I appreciate it. You're saying cheers from Oklahoma, where women love beer too. Love the channel. Thank you, Mrs. Teacup. I appreciate it. And yeah, as always, thank you for stopping by, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you, Teacup. Teacup. Thank you, Teacup. It's very, very kind of you. Welcome to the channel, guys. We've got over... let's do a couple of seconds worth of admin. We've got nearly 800 concurrent viewers in the chat. Troops, thank you for stopping by. Taking your time out of your wonderful day, doing whatever you were doing to click on my video, and watch and hear what I have to say. I'm utterly grateful for every single one of you guys for doing that. I truly am. And I'm speaking to you on an individual basis. I'm talking to you collectively, but I mean every single one of you. Thanks for stopping by, man. It's an amazing privilege that I've got here, and I don't take it lightly, all right? I know it's a fantastic thing. I've got nearly 700 people watching this video. That blows my brains every time. If you like what you see, if you enjoy the content, if you can appreciate me, talking and saying what I have to say, then hit that like button. That really does help the channel to grow. It helps the video to reach more audience members, all of that good stuff. If you think that some of your friends may or may not like what I have to say, press the subscribe button and share the video on Facebook and wherever. That 3 seconds worth of sharing, you'd be surprised at how much it does for the channel. But that's all I'm going to mention on that. Thank you, guys. Right, what we got? Mrs. Teacup, thank you. Billy Vieira, the different countries aren't listed, however, the large majority are from Russia. I'd actually imagine that a lot of the specialist Russians who are making, I don't know what the wages are like in, but let's have a look at what are the wages like in the Russian military. Let's have a look at this. How much is the Russian military paid? Right. So, as of February 22nd. Right, so I'm just going to read this on the screen, guys. Where are they getting paid? It says it was going to tell me how much they get paid. How much does Russia pay their military? It's not. How much is Russian soldier? About 900,000. Today, Russian militants maintains a total right. I'm not getting any. How much does the average Russian earn? No, we want Russian soldier wages, Russian pay scale, Russian army pay grades. I don't think we're going to get anything on this one, guys. Unless any of you guys know in the chat. You want to get that in. Pay and allowances in Russian Armed Forces guidance notes. All right, we've got what we got here. Regular bonuses. Oh, they get bonuses in Russia, eh? Check it out, man. I can't imagine they're going to get. So rank pay. There are 20 different levels of rank pay for contract servicemen, from private rating to Marshal of the Russian Federation. Which Russian writing has none of them. Duty pay. There are 50 levels of pay tied to post or duty occupied by contract servicemen. It's not telling us anything though. It's not giving us. We get specialist pay. So, for example, if your parachute trained personnel receive a bonus for each jump, calculating as a percentage of a platoon commander's duty pay and starting at a minimum of 5%. at the time of right. So it's exactly the same as it's very similar to how the British military would do in most military. So if you're like a commando, for instance, if you're in the army, not Royal Marines, if you're in the army and you're a bog standard infantry and you want to go and do the commando course, yeah, and you complete it, you'll get commando pay. Works out to be quite a nice chunk of money at the end of the month. Same for parachute. If you pass P company, you become a qualified paratrooper, you'll get para pay, which is good. It's deserved. So the Russian military doesn't seem too different in that respect. So they'll get field pay as well. It's allegedly another lucrative source of additional income. Field pay payable under the wide range of circumstances, not many of which have anything to do with being in the field. Okay, so that's different. If we were in the field, we'd get the equivalent of field pay, but apparently that isn't what it means. So, for instance, while detached to a training unit, they are set at a flat day rate equivalent to the daily allowance for travel or detached duty, currently at 200 rubles per day, I think that is. So you get field pay, but it doesn't look as if it's got anything to do with being in the field. They get annual premiums. I don't know what this annual premium thing's going to be. Gunterm 2009, thank you. You're saying per wiki 667 to 2,000, just over 2,000 US dollars, but that seems low. So that's the equivalent of how much they'll get paid, and if that's the highest amount, that is pretty shit. Pardon my language. 62,000 rubles is base pay. What's 62,000 rubles equivalent to, though? What does that equivalent to? Let's have a look. Right, let's do it in dollars, wow, base pay is about $878. That's terrible. That's terrible, right? Right, I want to see what's that in. Right, pound. Where? I can't find pound. Why can't I find pound? 2 seconds, guys. I can't find it. So 870. So it's about 400 quid, something like that, isn't it? That's crazy, guys. So base pay is pretty shit. So yeah, guaranteed. Guaranteed the. Sorry, I was just reading it. Right, troops. If we can keep, we need to keep the chat somewhat sensible. So Chris, I know you've got your opinions and stuff, buddy, but let's try and keep the chat semi kind of professional. You'll get me in the shit otherwise by saying stuff like that. So yeah, whether your opinion is widely accepted as being right or not, let's try and keep it pretty cool, guys. Okay. Yeah. Right then, troops. Over 400 likes. Thank you for being here. What are we talking about? So yeah, they get annual premiums in their military service. We didn't really get annual premiums in the Royal Marines. I didn't anyway. We would get like a fixed term premium classed as a bonus. So they changed throughout the past 20-30 years. But when I was in, it was you got a 5-year bonus, which was pathetic. It was like, I don't know, it worked out to be like $2,000 or something after tax. Effectively like a month's pay. And then you get an 8-year bonus, which was all right. Like I think it was about $4,000 after tax. And then I think you get a 10 or 12-year bonus. So yeah, bonuses for me. I certainly wasn't staying in the military for a bonus, if that made sense. I would it wasn't, if I was to have stayed in longer than I did, it would not have been for the bonuses, because the bonuses were, to put it frank, bonuses were shit. You'd spend that on a couple of weekends on the drink, So for me, bonuses weren't really a massive incentive in the British military anyway. I didn't think they were anyway. What else? How else do they earn their money? So they don't seem to earn a lot of money, if I'm honest. They don't seem to earn a lot of money in Russian military. We haven't got an exact number on it, but yeah. Right, troops, there's something else I want to talk about. Let's get on to this, because this is as of the 29th of April, 2022, okay? So I wanted to get into this because this is crazy. I choose to not really watch the news, not for any major reasons other than I'm just either busy with my channel or busy with other things. But I haven't really been keeping up with the news too much of recent. I should do, really, considering I'm covering this, but hey, I like to kind of not wing it, but I like to get into it as and when I'm doing these live streams, so it's authentic. I'm not trying to pretend to be, a master of everything that's going on in this war. I like to kind of just go with the flow and learn it as we go, and I learn most of my stuff from you guys in the comments, believe it or not. But yeah, 600 injured in recent bombing in the Azovstal steel plant. But why? So it's down to a Russian bombing that struck the makeshift hospital facility. Wow, so that's really crappy. That's really crappy, guys. You're hitting a makeshift hospital facility. So there's injured people there. People who are needing help. And they're targeting these places. That's scummy, man. So it's quoted here, you already know that they dropped bombs on the hospital, aerial bombs destroyed the hospital, and that is a sign of a war crime. I would say it's a war crime, because the number of wounded that before was 170, and now it's over 600. Says Ukrainian television. That's crazy. The Azovstal plant was heavily bombed on Wednesday night, according to multiple accounts. So this is the thing, did they know that they were housing people who were ill in that hospital? That's the thing that we need to find out, I can't seem to scroll up. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's bad. What else is happening here? Right, so that was an eastern heavy shelling by Russian forces continue along. Right, so where was that? Was that in the eastern side? No. Right, let's get off that. Ukrainian Special Forces. So yeah, actually getting back into the whole reason we were doing this in the first place. Ukrainian Special Forces wreak havoc behind Russian enemy lines. Actually, someone was talking about this earlier. So that's actually, yeah, it's a good thing. Ukrainian Special Forces. So it doesn't surprise me that these guys are getting stuck in behind Russian behind Russian lines, getting amongst it. Counter. It's the counteroffense, isn't it? They're getting some traction, and they're starting to get their guys, doing the same type of stuff that's happening in Ukraine across the border. All right, let's smash your country up, and I think that's the mentality that they're using at this moment in time. Let's read this article. When was this article from, actually? 2nd of May, actually. Yeah, okay, cool. That's cool. So it was today. Ukrainian Special Forces operating behind enemy lines are hitting supply columns and hampering the Russian offensive, Western officials have said. In addition, Ukraine's regular army's ability to launch rapid counterattacks soon after the invaders have taken a village or town was proving decisive in buying time for a country to build up its forces. By contrast, significant casualties have depleted Russia's Spetsnaz special forces, whose expertise would take considerable time to replace and rebuild, official told a media briefing. Yeah, so special forces, it goes without saying. I can't go off knowing for certain how Russia's special forces are. I don't know. We can see videos and we can, listen to various different things regarding Russian special forces, relating to how apt they are as a special force. Now, the stereotype is that they're pretty good, pretty hard, pretty efficient. Is that a reality though? I'm not entirely sure if that is actually the truth. So I'm not going to comment on saying, yeah, they're good, they're bad. I don't know. All right. The stereotype is that they're really, really good. Now, if there's loads of Russia's special forces, taking heavy hits, casualties, deaths, all of that, irrespective of what I think they are, how good they are, guarantee that training will be longer, harder, more enduring, harder to pass than the regular than the regular military infanteers and all of that good stuff. So yeah, you're not just going to be able to replace that overnight. So if they're not careful with their war planning and their deployment methods and the battles in which they're getting them involved with, which Russia's been pretty bad. We're not going to get too much into the logistics that Russia uses and how it uses it strategically, logistically. I think they're quite poor, and they've proved that in not just this war, multiple wars. But that being said, if they use similar failings with regards to how they utilize in Russia's Spetsnaz, their special forces, the guys who get the other guys out of the shit, then that's going to have a massive, massive impact negatively on Russia's capability, because you can't just replace these guys, okay? Normally, they've had multiple years active service, seen conflicts, fought in wars, seen shit, done shit, been in shit. You can't just get that overnight. And, then you've got a testing ground. You've got a training ground. You've got a process to get these already tough individuals through. Another process to pass special forces selection, which guess what? Not everyone does. Not everyone gets through that. So yeah, the numbers that get dwindled in this will not be replaced overnight, and it'll just have a bad knock-on effect. But that's just my opinion. What's your opinion on that? What's your opinion on that? I'm just going to read a few of these comments. Actually, no, nothing coming in from the comments at the moment. If you want to ask any really strong questions, or if you want to put a real statement out there, then the best way to do it is like our last friend here, Ramon. Actually, not Ramon, sorry. Then the super chat method is the best way to do that, guys. Where are we at on this then? Right, so yeah, we're talking about how Russia's special forces have been depleted. Significant casualties have been alleged within the Spetsnaz organization. Yeah, that expertise is needed. So Russia's going to have a knock-on effect. A skill gap, so to speak. Now, Ukraine's specialist troops, special forces, who are understood to have been trained by US and British special forces, have honed their tactics by considerably during the fighting, creating havoc by taking out vulnerable Russian columns, infiltrating deep behind the front lines. They have been able to ambush vehicles carrying ammunition, food, and vital fuel for Russian tanks. Sources have told the National that the soldiers have evolved their tactics, driving quad bikes to cross the country quickly and planting anti-tank mines while using small drones to attack targets. They have called in accurate artillery fire on Russian targets, causing further casualties, an additional to 15,000 Russian death toll. That is rising every single day. So Ukraine's special forces have It's alleged that US and British Special Forces have been training these guys, getting them up to scratch, utilising their expertise, which has been honed for many years. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. So yeah, it's interesting. I might be biased, but I think the British and the United States military are among the best in the world. Their expertise has been, tried and tested for a long, long time. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how good that utilization of their tactics and their train's going to be. And according to that article, and we have to take articles with a pinch of salt these days, it's something that I think will be very effective. Personally, I think we're going to see massive push forward with how the Ukrainian Special Forces are doing. But this is another thing to consider: how they are doing, how good they're doing, how bad they're doing is not something that's going to be too much in the public domain. For obvious reasons, governments and the media can't really comment on special forces, and for obvious reasons. Okay, they're working behind enemy lines, doing stuff that regular conventional fighting forces can't and won't do. Whitey Daz, hey, just saying, I'm a Mackham. It's either Whitey or that's Witty, and if that's Daz Witty, just the name backwards, then I know exactly who you are. But yeah, you might not be that person I'm thinking of. Where did you grow up, Daz Witty, or Whitey Daz, or Witty Daz? Let me know, and because I know someone with that name. I'm going to highlight that chat there. I've just seen someone comment with regards to the lighting. Why does the lighting look dark? It's because it is a dark room. It's a black wall behind me, and yeah, that's the effect. That's just the way it is. I like it, and I ain't changing it for nobody. Right, so what else is happening on this? It says Ukraine Special Forces are operating behind Russian lines and exploiting the vulnerability of long supply routes to great effect. Yeah, so maybe, just maybe, that logistical hindrance that Russia seems to bring to the party all of the time is being capitalized on massively. I'm no military strategist or anything like that. I was never an officer in the military. I could never be that. These guys are extremely intelligent. They have to go through even harder training than basic infanteers, basic soldiers. These guys know what they're doing. But if I was to be in charge of, just off the information that's came out in the news, I would capitalize on the fact that Russia is failing in the logistic department. And the reasons they're failing is down to, sloppy planning, poor planning, zero planning, poor kit and equipment to be able to get from point A to B, sloppy everything. And if it was me on the other side telling them, hey, let's capitalize on it, that convoy there clearly hasn't planned their route properly, clearly hasn't really taken timings into consideration, clearly hasn't put their best equipment at the forefront to get these supplies on the front line. The fact that the soldiers haven't got enough fuel to get from point A to B, they're going to have to stop and refuel. The fact that they haven't got food to get them through and sustain them for the duration of the operation. Let's capitalize on that. Let's get specialist troops in there, hit and run tactics, raid style stuff, the original commando style things, and capitalize on it. And I think that's why their logistics and their some of the missions that's been going on there have been, have looked even worse. All right, because there's these guys behind the lines, the special forces and stuff like that, and the more specialist individuals capitalizing on that weakness. I think that's what any great military should do. Hey, troops, some of the members in the chat, thank you guys. If you want to become a member, the link is in the chat. just above, or press the join button. Smash the like button. Let's get over 500 likes, and this, troops, takes 3 seconds to do. If you enjoy my content, drop a comment in the actual video itself. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you want to ask me anything pertinent, if it's really burning inside, or if you like what you see, anything like that, drop a super chat, get the question in, get your point across. Let's hear what you've got to say. Let's see what you've got to say on the screen. Let me know where you're coming from. How does America feel about this war? How does Britain feel about this war? How do the Russians feel about this war? Is this war a just war? Is this war a just war? Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. Let's get the conversation rolling. So, we're just coming off talking about Ukraine Special Forces. I'm going to read a little bit more of this article, actually, because it's quite interesting. The Spetsnaz, along with the Russian VDV airborne forces, have been suffering severe losses in the early days of the war when they tried to seize Kiev without adequate armor protection or support fire. It now appears that their losses have continued. The Russians have lost experience in their elite forces, and officials said it all takes time to rebuild that expertise and the number of personnel and equipment they need to pose a threat of a significant nature to others in the future. While the Russians are still managing to take some advantages in Donbass region, they were continually being harassed by Ukraine's army use of swift counteroffensives. On Ukraine's ability to counterattack, the Western officials said they have proven remarkable in that regard. Even when Russia takes a village or town, Ukrainians frequently counterattack immediately, so the Russians have no time to bed in or control the situation, and they're immediately on the back foot again. So I think the thing that we need to mention is speed, momentum, and that's what Ukraine is doing. They're capitalizing on everything. They might not have won the battle in the village, but what they're doing is they might retreat a little bit. As soon as they're getting into the village, they're capitalizing on that, getting amongst it, getting angry, getting aggressive, getting violent, and pushing them back out again. That takes steely determination. And I do believe a little bit of foreign expertise and coordination. This is where we're seeing the indirect support of NATO taking great effect. That's what I think. 500 plus likes, troops. Thank you very much. Let's go. Hey, sure made with the super chat. Thank you. You're saying, what are the details of the new drones NATO have supplied? Are you talking about... Right, let's get into this. Let me do a quick obvious search. Whoa, okay, this is going to be interesting. Pentagon sends Phoenix Ghost drones to Ukraine. Russia slams NATO allies. Right, this is gonna be an interesting article, this, I think. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has hit out NATO as the Russian invasion of Ukraine has entered its 10th week, and the US has begun sending Phoenix Ghost drones to the Ukraine government. I don't know what a Phoenix Ghost drone is, but Rambo was from Phoenix, and yeah, I'm just thinking of that, and Ghost doesn't sound too good, so yeah, I'm guessing these Phoenix Rambo Ghost drones are going to be pretty formidable. We'll do a bit of a search on that. Lavrov accused the US and NATO of encouraging Ukraine to pursue an aggressive anti-Russian course in an interview with China's official news agency. Right, this is the thing. You can't invade a country. This is what I don't get. You can't invade a country and then complain when other people help the other side. You can't say, oh, you can't do that. You can't, no, you can't have an aggressive counter-offense. You can have a moderate counter-offense, but hey, don't you dare encroach on the aggressive counter-offenses. How dare you? How dare you be aggressive with your counter-offense? You can only be passive with your counter-offense. How dare you? This is the thing that I don't get, man. War to me makes no sense. I've been in the military. I did like 6 years in the Marines. I still don't get or understand the mentality it takes to start a war. It never makes any sense. There's always a different variable that is in place in mankind to stop this from happening. We have, if you think about it, the bottom end of society, we've got so many control measures on individuals to stop us from doing things, and it works pretty well. The police will be on you if you nick a Mars bar, if you steal a Twix or a Kit Kat from the shop, they'll be on you. Yeah, you're getting put in jail for that, buddy. At the bottom end of society, we control people pretty well, but how can we not control the upper echelons of society when, with regards war? It doesn't make any sense. We can control the masses, but we can't control the few. It's crazy, man. We've got the capacity to, to create fantastic technology, massive leaps forward with computers and artificial intelligence and information and infrastructure orientated around the internet. Loads of fantastic, massive leaps forward, but we can't mediate individuals and stop them from going to war. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't give a damn who you are, where you're from. You're never going to be able to justify to me that war can be justified. Let's just try and do it. Try and tell me why a war could be justified. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I'm small-minded. Enlighten me. Enlighten me, guys. I don't know, man. So, a transcript. So we're talking with regards the drones that the Pentagon has sent to Ukraine. So a transcript of the interview is posted to the Russian Foreign Ministry's website on Saturday, a day after a senior Pentagon official confirmed that the first shipment of Phoenix Ghost drones was due to arrive in Ukraine. Over the past years, the United States and its allies have done nothing to stop the intra-Ukrainian conflict. Okay, well, maybe he's not on face value, but probably is behind the scenes. Instead of inciting Kiev to a political settlement on the basis of the Minsk package of measures, they pumped up the Kiev regime with weapons, trained and armoured the Ukrainian army and nationalist battalions, and generally carried out the military political development of the territory of Ukraine, he said. They've encouraged the aggressive anti-Russian course pursued by Kiev authorities. Encouraged the aggressive anti-Russian course. How dare you be aggressively anti-Russian? How dare? Again, you can only be passively anti-Russian, all right? The Russians are invading the country aggressively, but you can't be aggressive back. You can only be passive with that. Typical bully tactics. You would think the tactics would change with politicians. They pretend to be. Oh no, they don't pretend to be. They've got this aura of I'm better and I'm more intelligent than most people, but they still use the basic bullying fundamentals. You can't do that. You can't do as I do upon you. It's crazy, man. Hey troops, if you've just joined the channel and the video, thank you for stopping by. Let's get 600 likes. There's 627 viewers, so we could literally get 600 likes right now. There's literally no excuse for us not being able to get 600 likes. Like, literally, swipe down, hit that like button, swipe up. It costs nothing and it matters the most, okay? The super chats are good. The super chats, don't get me wrong, super chats good. They get me a few beers, maybe a takeaway now and again. They're good. But the likes, they recommend the video out. Boom. And help people join the channel. So that's what you can do for me. I'm going to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 567 likes. Yeah, nearly there, troops. Nearly there. Where we at? So, yeah. I want to know what a ghost drone is. What is a ghost drone? Phoenix Ghost Drone. The Phoenix Ghost, with its unmanned aerial systems, allows the army to watch targets and attack. Reports claim, just like the Switchblade drone, the Phoenix Ghost is also a low-cost, single-use suicide drone. What? It is a loitering munition which flies around and targets as it hits the target. What? Flies around a target as it hits the target. This is like real-life Terminator shit. This is real-life Terminator shit. We've got Phoenix Ghost drones, completely unmanned, flying around, committing suicide, and literally destroying everything in its path. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Mad. So it's a modified Switchblade drone. Medium-sized warhead. Probably for effectiveness. War is becoming so advanced. It's crazy. US Special Forces, yeah. Right, let's get into this map. There's a few things came out for this. Boom. 16 hours ago, 3 killed, 3 wounded as a result of Russian shelling in the last 24 hours in Luhansk region. Terrible, guys. The amount of death and destruction. Is that a woman with a bloody finger? I can't actually see. How do I zoom in? All right, let me see. Right, let me zoom in on that. Looks as if there's a bit of, I don't know, a bit of blood in her face. I might be wrong there. That's crazy, man. Just the buildings there. I mean, that could be somewhere in North London. Like, just looking at it, it just looks like it could be somewhere. We could all familiarize ourselves with somewhere that looks like that. That's for sure. I'm just looking at my beer spillage on the floor. I need to get the mop in here straight after stream. Stop my wife kicking off. It's the man cave. We can do what we want in the man cave, right? We're in the man cave. We've got the sign and everything. You know? Joseph E. So from time to time we don't normally we oh, actually, have I missed something? I think I've missed something, right? Patrick Seward Jr. Jesus, guys. Is that just came in? Have I missed that? What's happened there? Patrick Seward Jr. with the biggest super chat of the stream. How do I even say thank you to that? That is absolutely staggering. Thank you so much. Thank you doesn't cut it. Thank you, brother. I'm super appreciative of that. That is extremely generous. I can't say thank you enough. Legend. Wow. I don't know what to say to that. Joseph E. Thank you. You're saying, hello from Minnesota, USA. Keep doing what you're doing. I love your morals and ethic. I totally tell you're ex-military, like my father from the US Marines. To you, hoorah. Hoorah, brother. Semper Fi. Pema Petarum. Pema Petarum is by sea, by land in the Royal Marines. definitely could be the same. It stands for the same as what US Marines do, and any Marine for that, Mark. We're from the same family. So thank you, my friend. I appreciate that very kind comment. Patrick Seward, thank you, brother. That's an extremely kind donation. Very kind. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that, guys. Let's get some love in the chat for Patrick. That's immaculate, man. Patrick Seward says, Semper Fidelis, Semper Fi, brother. By sea, by land. Bimar per Taram. In fact, I've got that on my arm. A lot of people want to know what the tattoo is. I'll not be able to show you it properly on. I can get my guns out, but here it says per mar, per taram there. Okay, by sea, by land. On that bit's Royal Marines, and then Commando on the bottom. And this is the core stamp, which is a pretty cool. It's the only tattoo I've ever wanted. Hey Zoltan, I remember you, buddy. You're saying, hey Gen Dit, I haven't been able to catch a live stream in a bit. I like the new setup. I appreciate that, dude. We've been working hard behind the scenes, trying to get this thing up and running. But this is one thing I want to say, all right? And right, you can think I'm honest, you can think I'm not honest. It does matter, but it doesn't matter to you. But when I say, like, when I tell you guys that, for instance, the super chats and stuff like this, when I say it literally goes into making this whole thing better, that's the God's honest truth. If my dad was here right now, he'd tell you, like, every damn penny and more of my own has went into this. Everything, the behind the scenes stuff, the kit, the equipment, everything. I know it doesn't matter to you guys. It doesn't have to, but honestly, man, like, you can forget about me buying flash clothes and all of that shit, because I don't do it. All right, I don't do it. I don't want this to be like a lifestyle business where I get the money and I take the money and run type thing. Because that's not what I do. I put everything back into this. I've converted an entire room in my house. I'm privileged that I'm able to do that. But I just want to let you guys know that that's. It goes more. It goes, when I say it goes further than you'd believe. Trust me, I put every penny back into this, making it better, because I want you guys to be able to directly impact the channel's quality, and I want to give you the best I can. And I truly mean that. Like, if you were here right now, you'd see that. There's some YouTubers who don't, and they drop off the map because they haven't invested, they haven't given back, and that's just what I do. Trust me. That's all you can do is trust, because you'll never know, you know. But that, as hopefully you can tell. But thank you. We're going off topic slightly, but Dit Commando, you can show your cap badge to show the tattoo design. Are you asking me to show it? So this is, I'll show it. So that's so that's the cap. That's the cap badge bit there. And I've just got my own writing, Royal Marines Commando on there, Gibraltar, the globe. It's the globe and laurel, that's where it is. Well, that's my proudest. I never wanted a tattoo, ever. I always wanted that, but I couldn't get it until I've completed the Royal Marines Commando course. So I was so proud when I finally passed that course. The first thing I did, against everyone saying do this or do that, is I went to the tattooist. I went with another Marine, and I went with him, and I says, hey, I want to get this tattoo. And it was, honestly, I'll never get another tattoo, because that to me is all I wanted. So yeah, you know, you manifest things that you want, and you do get them, guys. All right. Whoa, what's going on, Joseph E? Mate, guys, this chat is blown me away tonight, man. Joseph E, thank you very, very, very much for the super chat you're saying. Cheers. Get yourself a brew on me. Was payday today. Ah, man, thank you, brother. That's extremely generous of you, Joseph E. I'll definitely get a brew on you. Thank you, man. Cheers, buddy. I appreciate you, man, so much. That's outstanding, guys. This is you guys are yeah, you guys are very, very, you're humbling me day to day, man. Thank you. JET Block Moth. That's a mouthful of words. Welcome to the Dit Members Club, brother. Thank you for supporting the channel. Guys, the super chats support the channel, the membership support the channel. If you want to become a permanent feature on the channel as a member, then just press that join button. The link is above. Jet Block Moth is the first member of the stream. We've got some very, I tell you what, man, Josephie, you need to become a member, and Patrick Seward Jr., guys, that's 100. You guys need to become a member. You could have become a member for like 2 or 3 years with that amount. So you guys should become members, man. Serious. But anyway, back at the topic at hand, guys. I was looking at this map, actually. So the Russian army continues shelling on residential areas. This is the thing that's really bothersome to me. I mean, we have to be logical about this. Shelling of residential areas is going to house civilians. It's going to house innocents, complete innocent people just wanting to get on with their lives. But to me, that seems like, well, it's completely obvious that that is the case. You've invaded a country full of innocent individuals who don't want war at all. So, yeah, although that article kind of just has to say it boldly for us, it says the obvious. It's like, well, it is obvious. Like, everywhere in Ukraine has individuals in there who are innocent. Residential areas are everywhere. Ukraine is a residential area, holistically speaking. So it's a little obvious that, but I think we need to be reminded of that a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, the whole of Ukraine is residential. Does that make sense? Joseph, hey, I knew you'd be there. Welcome to the Dit Members Club, brother. Thank you, bro. About time, man. Let's go. Hey, Gabe Rado, how you doing, buddy? Gabe Rado, legend, man. What else we got here? 2 Russian missiles hit Mesova district in that region. Yeah, missile, hideous. Actually, troops, this is what I want to do. Slightly off topic, not too off topic. I just want to show you something. So I want you guys to go follow this channel. Just Boxing. Okay. So Just Boxing. We start that channel in December. We aim to get this channel going this week. It's going to be a channel that me and my dad run. Okay. So go follow that. Just Boxing with that logo. That's going to be up and ready this week. So if we have a look at this map a little bit more, I want to see if there's going to be any changes which are predicted. I tell you what, I thought we would have seen more activity in around this region here. I know we've seen it on the coast, and we're seeing activity here, but I would have presumed by now we would have seen a little bit more Russian traction, but I don't know what's going on there. Reportedly air defense engaging aerial targets. Yeah, I think I predicted that this region would be getting hit last week, I believed, but there must be some fierce opposition there, because the way Russia's been progressing in these areas here, it was quite rapid in terms of how they were moving across the ground. Graham Barnes, good question. What we got here? Let's see what you're asking. Do you think Putin is trying to take all territory east? Yes, I do. I think, I personally think he's going to take, or try to take, as much of the eastern flank as he possibly can, and then just move straight up to Kiev. Literally get a heavy. I mean, what he's controlling the ports and stuff like that. That's going to control supplies and everything else. It goes without saying, but I just don't think they've got the ability to fight a long, drawn-out war. They've proven that in the past. So, yeah, I don't think. How would I put this? Look, let's look at this map again. Ukraine's a massive place, guys. Look, there's a lot of land that isn't taken, and Kiev's Kiev's far away from the land that they're occupying at this moment in time. I mean, they're pretty embarrassing. You got their arse kicked in this region for logistical reasons and all of that. But this eastern region here, I'm not going to say they're struggling, they're taking ground, but for them to push through to Kiev from here, it's going to be a long, drawn-out war. For them to push through all of this, to take these land and these little villages, is going to be hard. We need to remember, guys, these people who are fighting, they're fighting volunteers who live in these villages. They're going to be fighting for the wives, for the children. It's a different beast when you're fighting that. You're not fighting someone who's just signed up as a volunteer. You're fighting someone who's really, really, really fighting for their homeland, fighting for their family, their livelihood, everything they've lived for, their life. They're fighting for their lives. That's a different beast. The Russians who are in that country aren't fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their lives. It's stupid for me to say they're not, but they're not fighting for their livelihood. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to move this camera slightly. They're not fighting for their land, so to speak. It's a dangerous man when you're fighting someone who's, he's fighting them on the home soil. It's going to be tough. Graham Barnes, the biggest opposition to an occupying force is the residents of the country. I agree. That's the hardest part. That's the hardest part. And it doesn't matter if you're fighting them with, and the opposing force is fighting with sticks and stones. It doesn't matter. They're gonna be ready. They're gonna be violent. It's going to be tough. Look at Afghanistan. We keep on going back to that. Afghanistan. They were fighting on their land. Very, very tough individuals to fight for that reason alone. And I think Ukraine poses a modern version of that, a more sophisticated version of that. I just don't see Russia winning in that respect. I just don't, Joseph E is saying reform beats authoritarianism every time. Look at Hitler's reign. Yeah, I agree. They might get some form of traction early, but they'll not be able to sustain that traction. You know what it comes down to, right? And I believe this, and it's quite a simple way of putting it. But I generally believe, I think most people believe in their heart of hearts. I think that most people believe that it doesn't matter what it is. Good always tends to beat evil. Now, there might be opinions on, who's good and who's bad, but, truth be said, the good guy and the bad guy always comes out in the end, and it always looks like the bad guy comes off second best. It always looks like that. In the early days of Hitler's campaign, getting into government, becoming effectively the head of Germany and doing all of these things, he was perceived by many people as like the good guy originally, and then it turned out that he was a bloody horrible evil villain of a man. So the truth comes out in the end, and history will always perceive him as being a horrible, evil individual. The truth comes out in the end. It's how it goes on. So I think it'll be the same thing with this. There's many opinions floating around, this, that, and the other, but in 10, 20, 30 years' time, 40, 50, 100 years' time, the good guy and the bad guy will come out. and it'll be apparent. It'll be there, because good, in my opinion, always triumphs over evil, and that's not just a Disney fantasy. It's not just a happy-go-lucky type of statement. I generally believe that. That's what I believe, and I believe most people believe that. You know, I don't think that's too dissimilar to what most people will think, if that makes sense. What's your thoughts on that, guys? What's your thoughts on that? Tank Dog, if you want you need to follow my boxing channel then, Just Boxing, because we're going to have some good... I think our first stream is going to be this week, hopefully. I've got my wall stand, so these cameras come as a 3-pack. They're called Mevo cameras, Logi Mevos. 3 of them come as a 3-pack. So I'm putting 2 on the wall, 1 in front, so it's going to capture me and my dad, multiple different angles around that tail. We're going to be talking boxing, and my aim is to be a better channel than True Geordie, because amidst all of the opinions about what people think I think of True Geordie, slightly off topic here, I actually like him. I'm a big fan of his channel, but I want to have a better channel than his, so I'm going to build up my Just Boxing channel, and I want to make my dad famous. That's what I want to do. So go follow that channel, Just Boxing. The link is in the About section on my current channel. Go do that, guys. Joseph E, thoughts on nuclear threat by Russia? Right, so my thoughts on nuclear threat by Russia is, I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to happen in any capacity. And I don't hope that I'm wrong. I just don't see it happening, personally. I think it'll be used more as a scare tactic than anything. I just don't see it happening, because no one wins in any of that situation. Slightly off topic, Yo63, off topic boxing question. Lennox Lewis and their prime, who would win? Lennox Lewis and their prime. Who? Lennox Lewis and who? Lennox Lewis and who? Lennox Lewis and their prime, who would win? I don't know who. You're going to have to mention who else you want, though. I'm guessing you're going to say Tyson. Prime Tyson beats prime anyone, I think, except Tyson Fury. And that might be quite controversial, but that's my honest opinion. Nigel Benn and Gabriel. Nigel Benn is my favourite boxer of all time. Nigel Benn and Mike Tyson, my favourite fighters of all time. Close second would be Roberto Duran. Three on top. Them are the 3 joint favourites. Lennox versus Amazon Prime. Big crack rock. I like that. Lennox versus Amazon Prime. Amazon wins, man. Amazon Prime rocks, man. I'm getting them camera mounts delivered in next time today. I'm getting them delivered today. So yeah, them things rock, man. I think Amazon Prime beats anyone. Troops, if you just joined the channel, let's get 700 likes. Come on, we're literally like 32 off, man. Come on, let's get some more likes. We can get to 700 likes. What we got? Jen, did you catch Beefy Smith versus Vargas? I didn't, mate. I didn't watch any boxing this weekend. I've been helping my mum and dad move house. My dad literally lives about 3 or 4 doors up from me now, so I can get him in on the podcast and the uploads more regular. So this is my full-time job, guys, believe it or not. So I'm just trying to build the channel and the network and everything even greater. In fact, I've just seen something there. Gabe Rattle says, yeah, he's ex-Fusilier. You're referring to Nigel Benn. Well, actually, a story. My boxing trainer, my first boxing trainer, the best boxing trainer I ever had, was actually in the army with Nigel Benn, and he was his PTI for a period of time, so he knew him very, very well. He was served with him. So, you know, the reason my favourite boxer was Nigel Benn was partly because my boxing coach trained me to fight like him. So my boxing style was a mixture of Nigel Benn's, in terms of his violent, aggressive nature, that type of thing. That's the boxers I looked up to. Head movement of Mike Tyson, and the pace and energy of Roberto Duran. That's the three type of fighters that I used to mimic when I was a young lad. So yeah, I'm going to watch it, Graham, definitely. Anyway, slightly off topic, guys, but anyway, I think we've covered a little bit what we wanted to talk about tonight. It is 1 o'clock in the morning, so unless you've got anything else that you would like to answer me, to ask me, then now's the time to get the super chat in. But other than that, I'm probably gonna call it a night. Does that make sense? So yeah, any final comments? Let's get them in now. I will be in the chats for a little while after the end of the stream. But to anyone that's liked this video, anyone, 700 likes as well, right on cue. Everyone that's been watching the channel, supporting the channel so far, hopefully you can enjoy the little bit of an improvement to the stream. Let me know. Drop a thumbs up or a Y for yes in the comments if you like the way the stream looks at the moment. And any advice as well, drop a bit in there. Yeah, let me know. Hey, Gabriel, no problem, man. But yeah, Andrew, binge watching all your videos, just found you. You're still in the military. I'm not, mate. I was due to go back as a reservist. I've got some stuff I'll probably talk about with regards to the military that I've never talked about, that I probably will talk about in a few years' time. I don't know when the right time is. It's all good stuff, but there's a little bit more to my military story other than the Marines, which I can talk about, but I guess I don't find it. I don't know. There's a little bit more to it, if that makes sense, in a good way. But yeah, all in good time, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah, a little bit, all in good time. But yeah, if you appreciate the way the channel looks, you've got loads of Y's in the chat. Hey, Effie, thank you so much as always. Fun to catch you, Ryan. Love to the family. Hey, and to you too, guys. I've got loads of people in the chat. Lost in Australia, does it involve pool? Andrew, Jen didn't mean to bring anything bad blood. Did the sound can't wait here? Yeah, bring up any bad blood. No, it didn't, mate. No worries. Joseph V, Dit Commando, what was your favourite experience during your service? My favourite experience, when I look back, is having the opportunity to change my life. It really changed my life, and it's continuing to change my life. So amidst the good, the bad, and the ugly, I'm still able to. I'm benefiting more from it as time goes on. It seems to benefit me more, and I'm finding out little ways to capitalize on the fact that I was a Marine, or an active Marine. Still am. I'll always be a Marine. But as I get older and get into different parts of my life, that experience is enabling me to do different things. I've built a YouTube channel off the fact that I was a Royal Marine. Just that saying, that sentence, I was a Royal Marine. I served in the Royal Marines, has allowed me to do this. So it's crazy, and I'm looking forward to how that will open up other doors in the next year, 2 years, 5, 10 years, because the way it's been going since leaving the military, it's changed an awful lot. and I'm continually experiencing positives as time goes on from it. So I've been one of the lucky ones to get out of it injury-free, scar-free, mentally scarred-free. I didn't see half of the shit as what some of the people I served with saw. I haven't done half of the stuff of which some of those fine warriors have done. I don't profess to be a Rambo. I'm not. I achieved a hard course. And yeah, you'll never hear me bragging about anything that I haven't done, guys. Okay, there's some fantastic individuals who I served with, and if I could be half the man that they are, I'd be a happy man. But yeah, I've had a good experience, and I'm able to capitalize on it now. Cowboy 2, hey my dude, it's been a while. Ready to get out, champ. Thank you very much, brother, for the super chat. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, dude. It's good to see you guys here, man. Brandon Knight, thank you for your kind comment, my friend. Man Cave looks bossy too. Thank you for what you do, mate. I appreciate it, dude. Gabriel, you served with Al Blackman? No, but I knew plenty of people that did. He was he was definitely a known character after the event that most people know, Marine. And the Marines is a very small place, and I knew of them before that event took place. So, yeah. See my Commando Liverpool Marine Yomp for all. Actually, guys, I'm going to do a video on it tomorrow, but I'll give you a little bit of a behind the scenes right now. I don't know what I'm going to do specifically in the build up to this charity event, but I've registered with the Royal Marines charity to take part in the Falklands. So it's 40 years since the Falklands. A massive campaign for Great Britain. The Royal Marines in particular had a very, very, very big role in the Falkland Islands and taking it back. The Royal Marines and the Parachute Regiment, very, very integral in that war. So it's close to my heart. I've worked in a civilian capacity with guys who served in the Falklands. These guys are legends. So the Royal Marines story is a massive one. I've signed up to take part in the Royal Marines charity event to raise money for that specific Falklands 40. What it asks is for me to literally do 5.6 miles on that day. I think it's June the 12th. Forgive me, I can't remember. But the actually famous Yomp, i.e. march across land with kit for the Royal Marines, was 56 mile. It was 56 mile, that famous Yomp, before they got into battle. So it was a tremendous feat by the Royal Marines. Now, I want to do that on that day. Whether it's 56 mile across, I don't know, but I'll do 56 mile. I'm going to raise money for it. But in the lead up to that, I'm also going to be doing an amount of miles. So if I can do an amount of miles leading up to that every single day, I'm going to be checking my progress. But I'm going to launch that tomorrow with the links to be able to donate to the Royal Marines charity. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And hopefully that's my start, the start of me doing similar types of stuff for charity, because I really want to start giving back to the guys that made me able to be a Royal Marine in the first place. This is definitely the year where I'm going to start giving back, and it starts with my own, the Royal Marines. So I'm going to pass them links out in a video and community posts, and I'll link all of the links in these future videos and live streams, and that's where I'll be kindly asking for your guys' help to raise money for it. And that's it. So yeah. But yeah, troops, no more final questions. I want to say thank you for stopping by. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for your super chat questions. Thank you for your memberships. And thank you for you taking your wonderful time out of your day to spend some time on my video. I super appreciate it. Sure Made, thank you very much for your super chat. You're keeping me on the stream. I appreciate it. You're saying, I know it's not all of them, but all we hear is negative about the Russian soldier. Is that trained or personal problem in your opinion, or have you worked with like men? So if I'm interpreting your question correctly, yeah, you're hearing negative things about, not necessarily about the Russian soldier, about the Russian invasion, which is depersonalizing it. The aim of news and stuff is to depersonalize people, but you'll never hear me speak ill of any soldier fighting. I will speak ill of the people at the very top echelons of the society that are making the decisions on the soldiers, but even mainstream news, even politicians, even military historians will understand that it's not the soldiers' fault. It's the political decisions of people higher. So, yeah, I don't hate anyone on any side. I want to make that clear. I don't hate anyone. I understand that some guys just want to pay the bills and go back home, and they've been told that they're going there. They're going to war. Trust me, guys, I've served with plenty of people who didn't want to go to Afghanistan because they didn't agree with it. And some of them didn't go. Some of them did, and they still didn't agree with it. Some of them went and they did agree with it. Not everyone has the same thought patterns. So trust me, yeah, I think I'll change what you're saying slightly. It's not negative about the Russian soldier as an individual. It's about Russia and its decision to invade a peaceful country. That's the problem. You know, but man to man, soldier to soldier, most soldiers don't give a damn about the political reasons. When I was in, it started off as a challenge. I met the challenge. Then my reasons for being in the military morphed into, it went from it was cool and it was a challenge to, well, actually now I can get a car. So I've got a car. Now I've got an apartment with my then fiance. So I need to get money to pay for that. Now I've got financial responsibilities. I need to take care of those. We want to go on holiday on my summer leave, so I need money for that. It really does change into just, you know, you might have achieved something pretty tough, but you're just there for, or I was there to effectively, what was I generally there for? It was to pay my bills and stuff. And hey, guess what? If I was asked to go to some horrible country, I would have had to have went because I signed on the dotted line. But my reasons is not what you would think. And I can guarantee that doesn't really change too much for most soldiers. Most veterans on here right now, or people serving right now, tell you the exact same thing. They might not be able to tell you that in that way when they are serving, because there's a certain element of pride and ego that'll take over. But when they leave and it's all gone and they realise that, hey, you know what? What was I in for? Well, I was in because it paid for 2 weekends a month worth of drinking with my mates. It paid for my holidays. It paid for me to be able to have a nice car and a house. That's what we do this for. Trust me, you know. But that's my opinion. What do you guys think on that before we go, actually? Here's a one, Gay Brado. The soldier above all others prays for peace, for it is the soldier who must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war. General Douglas MacArthur. Hey, I couldn't have said it any better, man. I couldn't have said it any better. Wow, Jesus Christ, I surely haven't seen that right. Curtis Reynolds. I don't know what's just happened. Who are? Keep up the good fight. Wow, that's... Wow. I don't know what to say, man. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for that very, very kind donation, brother. That's incredible. Thank you. I don't know what to say to that. Thank you, Curtis. I think that's probably, yeah, no joke. I think that's probably the biggest super chat we've ever had. I might be wrong. That's very generous. That's extremely humbling. I don't know what to say. Wow. Joseph E, what's another hour? Stay on, please. Hey, like I said to you guys before, you guys control the stream effectively. So it's, if you want to hear me talk, you ask the questions. If I mean Curtis Reynolds with that 200 super chat, if that was a question, I'd be definitely inclined to stay on longer. Wow, 200, man. Troops, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it literally blows my brains, man. How this is something, right, that I want to talk about, actually, is, generally speaking, from what I've seen and witnessed around the world, and we talked about this before, we generally believe, sometimes the information given can give the false perception that most people are evil and bad. But from what I've seen, from a human to human level, forget about the phone forget about what you watch on your phone and everything else. Human to human interactions. Think about this yourself. Genuine human to human interactions that you'll have. 90% of people that you meet are really, really nice and good people, right? That's my perception. I've been all over the world, America, amidst what you hear in the media and the news. I found America one of the most friendliest places I've ever been. And the people in America were incredibly friendly and generous. Wonderful. I had an amazing experience there. Went to certain parts of the Middle East, all over the Middle East, all over Europe, and 99% of the people I've ever met were all bloody, really, really nice people. And that's my lived experience. And I have to take it for what it is. My lived experience tells all of the cells in my body that humans are good. And there's normally something really, really, really wrong and has had to have been failed in that human's life for them to be anything but nice. Generally speaking, that's what I've found. And I would like to hear your general opinion on that. What's your genuine opinion on humans? My experience is that most people I've ever met have been bloody good, Unknown, did you go to the hood? No, I didn't, but I'm from, we don't call it the hood unless you're from a certain demographic in London. We don't call what we would call, a shithole or a rundown estate the hood. We just call it, that's a bit of a shithole, that. Bit of a crap place to live. I grew up in the equivalent what you would call the hood. We just don't call it that here. I grew up in a rough, ready place, and you know what? I didn't have no problem there either. I didn't have no problems. Like, genuinely speaking, and if anything, the generosity of people on them estates was more than where I live now, in a nice place. It's like, just generally speaking, I think people holistically, overwhelmingly in the population, are nice. That's my lived experience. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat, man. Aaron Smith, we call them the ends. Yeah, I've heard that. So I'm super curious, and sorry for going off beat. What's the scariest situation you've been in? Was it on deployment or was it at home in England? And how do they compare? Oh, by far the scariest situations I've ever been in has been as a civilian at home. This is going to sound crazy, right? The most dangerous job I ever did, in terms of being constantly, in terms of time, how do I put it? The most dangerous job I've ever done, for the sheer amount of dangerous things that happened, wasn't the military. It was I was a bouncer. I was a doorman, a bouncer for 3 years before I joined the Marines. I was young as well. I was 18 when I started. That was a job where I regularly encountered extreme violence towards myself. I started off in normal nightclubs. I earned my way into some of the worst nightclubs in Sunderland and Newcastle, and I did all right, guys, but not to brag or anything, because it's nothing to brag, but I was a boxer when I was a young lad. Turned that onto the streets, get involved with a few dodgy people, and before you know it, you're kicking people out of clubs who are pretty tough, and you're coping with some real violent situations. And I was exposed to extreme violence regular on the doors, real violence, times where 10, 20 people might come down to kick you to absolute bits. And then you got to fight like you wouldn't believe to be able to get out of that situation. So that was at a young, and it's quite disturbing as well. It disturbed my brain for a while. So me going into the Marines, where that wouldn't happen on a daily basis just to earn money, don't get me wrong, the violence was there, in certain times, but yeah, generally speaking, that was the most violent job with regular occurrences of violence ever. My mum was happy when I joined the Marines because she knew I'd be in a good environment. That's crazy, right? Anyone will tell you that. And that was back in the day when being a doorman was tough, man. I've been in some scary times on the doors. You getting involved with the wrong people and they cause a fight, and then you have to fight that person, then to realise you've getting the better of someone who's quite a bad character, and just because you've kicked his ass, you might have getting yourself into more trouble. Like, that's just a world of horrible. I don't wish to go back to that world. I was glad I joined the Marines, So yeah. Joseph E says, I feel that people aren't generally kind people, have some sort of upbringing problem with their parents. I agree 100%, and I would put it completely down to that. I think your kids are a genuine product of your parenting, unless there's medical conditions involved. Yeah, completely. I've got a young daughter myself, and it's a very hard job, but I think this is the thing which we forget with our own kids is, you have to bring them up with discipline and manners and politeness, but when you're doing all of that, you have to remember to be disciplined and polite, and most importantly, respectful to them as well. You need to respect them, no matter how young. You show them respect. You don't lead with authority like I'm the. You can't. You've got to be respectful. Every human, no matter what age, deserves a respect. Oh, my daughter's 19 months. I show her respect when I talk to her. It's not a telling off, because it's disrespectful. It's a guiding. You can't do that. It can be firm, it can be stringent, but it doesn't have to be aggressive. It doesn't have to be telling off. It can just be respectfully teaching. You're a teacher. You got to be the first friend. Slightly off topic, but that's just my mantra. I think a lot of military guys get it wrong with kids and children first, because they try to lead with the stick, just like it was in the military. But you were an adult when you went through that military training, and I'm definitely not going down that route with my child. If my military background was strict, so therefore I'll be like this. There'll be a time and a place for that, but not when they're young. You gotta be their first friend. You gotta be the mentor. You gotta, that's just the way it is. That's just the way I believe. Might be wrong. Curtis Reynolds, I was in the army, but I'd be honoured to have Royal Marines fighting next to me. Hey, well, thank you for your service as well, Curtis. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've got a family in the army. My dad was in the army, and brother-in-law's currently in the army, Good dudes, man. Good dudes. Amidst everything, we're all fighting for the same reason. We're all signed up for the same reasons, and the first one's for the paycheck. Don't let anyone tell you that's not the case. Unknown says, sadly, you get into an argument in the States and end up shot. No more fisticuffs. Yeah, things are changing fast in the UK too, how we handle our beefs. They really are. 8 troops, I think that's it for me. Unless we get, there's been some mad super chats. I just want to put that out there again, bang. Curtis Reynolds, if you're still watching, brother, thank you very much, my friend. That's very, very kind, man. Thank you, brother. I wish you very, very well. Thank you. I wish everyone else well who's watching this, guys. Hey, troops, I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, troops, wherever you are. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever time it is. And I'll see you very, very soon in the next video. Hopefully go live tomorrow, wherever you are. Peace.